Hello everyone, so in this video we are going to see collection data type, and in that first we are going to see the chain data type, which is a list. So first, what is a list? So list is a data type that contains item in comma separated and enclosed within square brackets, and it hold elements with multiple data type. So first we are going to see how we can create a list and what is the meaning of it holds multiple data type and syntax of creating list. So here we can see first we have an integer data type, second element we have a string, third element we have float, and the last element we have an integer number, which is a long integer. So it fulfill our definition. So we say list, it is a data type which holds element with multiple data types. Here we can see it holding multiple data types. Then when we are checking the type of this object, and here we can see the class of a list category. And here we can see one important feature of list, that is list is mutable in nature. We already saw in string, the strings are immutable in nature. It means once it is initialized, we cannot change the element of the string. But here list is mutable. It means that so after initialization also we can change the element of a list. And here you can see we can access the element of a list using same indexing as we did for string. And when we assign some different values, here previously it was 1, now we assign some different values, so it get reflected in the result. So this is how we create a list in Python. Then we are going to see functions used on list and methods used on list. So the first function is a len, which is used to calculate the total number of elements in the list. And this is a syntax. Len, in the parenthesis we need to pass a list, and at the result we get the total count of element in that list. The second is list itself. So from the another data type, so this is the tuple data type, which we are going to see in the next video. So from this tuple we can create a list using a list function, and this is how we can see the list is created. Then if you want to find the max element and present in the list, we can use the max function and then provide a list. It will return you the max. Similarly min, to get the minimum value in list. And the next function is cmp, which is used to compare to list, but it is no more existed in Python 3 version, but we can create that cmp function. So just use this syntax, def cmp a comma b colon, and then return if a is greater than b minus if a minus less. So what it does, it checks whether these two lists are same or not, and it will give you a result of 0 or 1. If it returns 0, it means all the elements of the two lists are matched, and if the result of this function is 1, then we can say both lists are completely different. In the future we are going to see how we can create this function in depth, so just no worry about it, what is the syntax and everything. Just use this to compare two lists. Then we have a del, which is used to delete the element or list itself. So we have one list, then we are printing that list, and then we are deleting entire list, and then we are still checking whether we can access that list or not. But when we are accessing, we can see that we get this where list is not defined. It means it is deleted from the memory. So these are all the functions associated with the list. First we saw length, then list, max, min, cmp, which is for compare, and del for delete. So next we are going to see methods associated with the list. So the first method is append, which is used to add a single element or list of element at the end of already existed list. So here we can see we already have a list. Then when we used .append and then we can add one element using this syntax. If you want to add another list into a list, we can do that using this syntax, and here you can see we added list inside a list. But if you want to add this list as an element but using this same syntax. So that's why we use the next method called extend. The functionality is same, it add element to the list, but here the every element is converted into a single list. So here you can see when we added a 3 as a list, it added as an element in the previously created list, and when we added 4 and 5 as a separate list, it added them as an element of the first list. But here the results are different. Then we have insert, which is used to insert element at a specific location. So let's say we have this list, then we are adding this 3 element on second position, and we already know in Python the index start from 0. So this is a 0 index element, this is 1, and on this second we are adding this third. So here we can see the third element is added. Then on the third location we are adding another list which contains 4 and 5, and here you can see this separate list on the third location is added which contains 4 and 5 element. The next method is remove, which is used to remove the element from the list. So we need to pass a key to remove, and if this key is found, that particular key is removed from the original list. So here you can see we pass 4, and this 4 is removed from the original list. Then the next method is pop, which is used to remove the last element of a list. So let's say we have this list which contains 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 numbers. Then we use the first time pop with no parameters, it removes this 5, and right now the elements are 1, 2, 3 and 4 only. Then when we pass a parameter, and let's say we pass 2 parameter, then it removes the second last element, because right now in the list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements are present. By default this pop is 1, that means it removes the last element, but right now we pass second, it means we need to remove this second element from the list, and here we can see the result 1, 2, 4 because 3 is removed. Then we have a clear method which is used to clear all the element of the list. So we have one list and then we use clear, it removed all the element from the list and make that an empty list. And there is another way we can clear all the list element, that is using asterisk equal to 0 on the list, which will return you the empty list. Then the next method is index, which is used to find the index of element. So when we pass index 4, it gives you the index of that key. So right now key is 4, and when you found that key, it will return you the index, and this is a 0 index, 1, second and third, and we'll get the index as a 3. Then we have count method, count particular elements in the list. So this is the syntax. When we say .count 4, it counts how many times this key is in this list. So right now 4 is present only one time, so that's why it gives you 1. Then we have sort method, which is used to sort the element of the list in ascending or descending order. This is the syntax for ascending. It means that this sort method by default uses ascending, but if you want to use descending, then use reverse is equal to true as a parameter. Here one thing to note is that when we print list.sort, it gives you a none result. It means that this method is doing its operation and returning us nothing. But when we print the original list, it is already sorted in ascending order. Similarly, if you want, we can sort our list in descending order as well. And here are the results. The next method is a reverse, which is used to reverse the sequence of a list. So here we can see the list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but when we use the reverse, we got the result 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The next method is a copy, which is used to create a separate object of a list in a memory. So let's say we have this var list 1, then we are simply assigning that to another list 2, then we are assigning var1 colon to variable list 3, and then we are assigning variable 1 list dot copy to var list 4. Then using hex and id, we can get the memory address of that object, So when we look at the result here, we can see the where list 1 is at this memory location, where list 2 is at same memory location, and where 3 and where 4 are on the different memory location. So it means that when we use this equal to sign, it does not create any memory location, it just point to that memory location. But when we use this colon, it creates a new memory location. And when we use dot copy, it also creates a new memory location. And at the end, we are going to see this join method, which is used to convert our list element into string. So when we say 1, 2, 3 and join with no space, then we get the no space. When we add a space, we get the space. When we add a symbol or character, we get that character. So this is how we can use join to convert our list element into string. So we just saw in this video what is a list, then functions associated with the list and methods associated with the list. Thank you.